Mama, it's that man from the Exchange Club, and he wants me to be in the contest again. And I can't do it. She said, why? I said, well, I'm going to Yellowstone. You're going to Yellowstone? What are you going to do in Yellowstone, baby? Well, my friend Bunny Wallace worked out there last year, and she's written her boss that I want to come, and I'm going to get a contract in the mail in the next couple of weeks. And I simply can't go. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to clean rooms for the guests. Honey, you're going all the way to Yellowstone to clean up a stranger's room when you don't even clean your own here. You can make your own decision about whether you want to be in the contest or not, but we'll talk about Yellowstone later. Well, I went back, and it dawned on me. Yellowstone was in the summertime, and this contest was in April. So I told him that I'd be glad to do it. My mother was very excited. She says, oh, honey, we got to plan your talent. And I said, Mama, I'm going to go back to school and think about it, and when I come home next weekend, we'll work on it. When I got back to MSCW, I knew what I wanted to do. If I was going to be in that contest and I didn't have to win it, well, I was going to sing and dance. I got my friend Cherry Stone from up in Tupelo, Mississippi, to teach me some steps through the Charleston. And then I learned a song that I sang with my social club sisters. We didn't have sororities. And I was a loving, laughing Lockhart and wore a tiny gold heart around my neck. Well, we would get up in the dorms sometimes and sing those, off-color little songs. So I chose one of those. And I got back home, and Mama said, have you been thinking about it? I said, yeah, Mama, I'm going to sing and dance. She said, honey, why? I said, 'cause I want to. Well, she said, do your song and your dance. And when I finished, she said, oh, my God. Honey, it's on stage. It'll be okay on stage. But let's write a little poem to go with it so you can use your expression. And my mother and I wrote a little poem to go with my song and my dance. And I still remember it. And you know what? I'm going to do it for you. Come, let me take you back to the year 1923. That was the year that the flapper came to be, with her Chanel dress so short and tight. She sang "Boop-boopy-doo" and danced the Charleston all night. But the Roaring Twenties weren't quite that tame, because those were the years when the Red Hot Mamas came to fame. And down in the speakeasies, to old off-keyed pianos, they wailed their tunes in any old manner. They call me Flamin' Mamie. I'm a sofa scorcher and the hottest baby in town. And when it comes to loving, I'm a human oven. I really burn 'em down. They holler, water. I really burn 'em down. That was my talent. Well, the night of the contest came, and I was standing on the stage with the other contestants in the high school auditorium in my sister's yellow 100% cotton evening gown. It was the one that she had worn up to Memphis, Tennessee, to the Maid of Cotton contest. Now, she didn't win this contest. Mama said she did good. It did what she's supposed to, but she had a tummy virus. So her color and her sparkle was off just a bit. Well, the MC, Mr. Too Fat Fagin, had an envelope in his hand, and he was ready to announce the winner. But out of the corner of my eye in the wings, I saw something sparkling. And I looked over, and it was Bonnie Beth Craig, the reigning Miss Aberdeen, with her crown on. And you know, just for a moment, I wondered what it would feel like to wear a crown. But I wasn't going to wear a crown. I was going to Yellowstone. Well, Mr. Too Fat Fagin began to read the card. Second runner-up to Miss Aberdeen, Sue Ann Harmon. First runner-up to Miss Aberdeen is Barbara Jo Taylor. And the new Miss Aberdeen, who will go to the Miss Mississippi pageant in Vicksburg, Mississippi, is Jane Owen. And Bonnie Beth put the crown on my head. Wow. And I made the walk down the ramp that had been especially built for this contest in the high school auditorium. And I smiled at everybody I knew on this side and even those I didn't, and all those on the other side. And when I got to the end to make that turn, I saw my mama. She was smiling, and I knew that she knew that she had at last taught her baby girl to sparkle. Thank you.